Thanks, John.
Hello, everyone. Welcome today to Albury Council meeting. I'll start off with a karakia. Kia ora te marino, kia whakapapa ko namu te moana. Te huarahi mātou. Mātātou I te rangi nei. Aroha atu, aroha mai, tātou, ia tātou katoa. Let's move on to our apologies. Got one from Steve Nelson, Councillor Nelson, and in favour? Aye. Any declarations of interest in today's meeting?
Yeah, I can.
Well, is it? Well. Thank you. We had one person down for public forum today, but they're not coming in today, so we'll just move on. Confirmations of minutes, ordinary council meeting, 30th April. We're happy with those ones? Yeah.
I can't go that will be. Nah. I'll move.
All those in favour?
Aye.
Thank you. Moving on to page 12. Confirmations of confirmation of minutes, extraordinary meeting, council meeting, 30th of May. Any matters of correctness in there? No? Motion, all those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Great, thank you. Moving on to page 15. Just an assurance minutes. Meetings 26th of February. You good there? I'll stick a new one. Any matters of correctness in there? Anyone picked up? Just receiving it. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against, carried, thank you. Page 21. Right, minutes for the Coast Community Board, 21st of May. I'll move this one, if I can have a second. Yep. Just receiving this one.
There was a pretty straightforward meeting. There was two funding applications. One of them I had to remove myself for conflict of interest. The funding one in regards to Te Kura or Te Paenapuni. But yeah, some good initiatives there.
I'll put that. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against, carried. 26. The Chief Executive Performance Committee meeting, 30th of May. I'll move this one. Just receiving this. All good. All those, question. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against, carried. Thank you. We're on page 29. They have plenty. Mural, it's all meeting 3rd of May. I'll move this if I can have a second. questions for them? Seems like a while ago now. I'll just put that motion, all those in favour?
Aye.
Okay, Karen? Move on to page 35. Regional Transport Committee meeting, May 7th of May. I'll move this one if I can have a signature, please. Oh, you, yep. Any questions on all? Leaving this one, so I'll put that. Vote, all those in favour?
Aye.
Okay, carried. Page 41. Your report. 20th April to 31st of May. I'll move this if I can have a second. Yep. Few highlights from there that I did attend the Whakatohea Settlement reading, third reading in Parliament. I didn't put it in here, but it was something that I went on my own. But I was representing the council as well, so yeah, that's quite a special day. Long time in the making, and also it was a bit of an honour to go to the 100th birthday party, and yeah, I was pretty impressed. I'll be having one, but it was nice talking to Lynn. Any questions there? All those in favour?
Aye.
Okay, carry. Move on to page 46. Putting the Marine Advisory Group. Want to move this one? Yeah. I'll second this one. You want to say anything through this one, Barry?
Still progressing along pretty, still progressing along pretty good. I think I'm getting there. A few little technical problems in the dredging, and hopefully the marinas. I've only heard whispers, but that's progressing well too. So hopefully, fingers crossed. I have an update at the next meetings.
Can I just ask the paragraph 22, the title,
Sorry. 22.
page 49, paragraph.
Oh,
The Coast Guard,
yeah. That was just an update. It's a verbal update from the Coast Guard.
is sort of saying that they can't find who actually owns that piece of land that they want to utilize called the appropriate.
Now, there's a mix of where the property boundary and the river, they're just trying to identify what the land boundaries are associated to that area. So we're just clarifying where the boundaries are and who has it.
What's coming along pretty good, so it's all happening. We're in progress, really. Can't wait for the grand opening.
Even on a busy day, it's not too long in a queue. It's something new for us to have to wait to bring our boats in and out, but it seems to move well.
Yeah, no, I think you're pretty patient there.
Have to practice your backing. It's a
We need, we do definitely need some metal down on that reserve. Car parking. And we had that little bit of rain the other day, and it just muddied it up real bad. So get some spare metal. Place. Put it down there, brother.
Might be able to find someone in the line. All right, thank you for just receiving this report. All those in favour? Aye. Against? Yeah, thank you, Barry. I'll move on to page 55. Adoption of the rate and remission postponement policy. I'll move this stuff. I've never seen it, and I'll hand it over to Peter. Give us that.
Yep.
Good morning, councillors and David. The purpose of this report is to bring back for adoption the rate remission and postponement policy. The public consultation closed with no submissions having been received. So the policy that is being put forward for adoption is the same as what was or the draft that was approved by council for the public consultation. Take any questions as hearing the report's been read.
This doesn't do outstanding rates, so
No, so debt management and rates arrears doesn't come into this policy, and is, as we've discussed before, the first place for that is within our financial strategy, and we will look at developing a policy in relation to debt management.
yeah, because like I spoke before, we don't need some clarity in them, so they're all on the same page about debt collecting and that sort of stuff. About Adam.
Any other question? Okay. Well, thank you for that, Pete. It's quite a bit of work that led up to this. So the option, page 53. Just put it through. Yep, so the recommendations, everyone happy with the recommendations in there? Yep. Right. So all those in favor? Okay. Thank you. And moving on to page. Right, plan change. I'll move this up again in a second. Over to Gerard.
Yeah, so this is just an update in relation to the Hookataya plan change. So we've got a report in December to start moving forward. Ella, who's been responsible for it, she was away for a few months, so she's back on deck now. We're starting to move things forward. So it's just to give a bit of an update as to where we are. So the main issue, I suppose, was the on-site effluent treatment. So we've now got confirmation from the regional council that the approach they're likely to take as part of that draft plan change is in line with our way of thinking, i.e. not forcing people to connect to the reticulated system unless the system's old and causing environmental damage, which I think is fair enough. So they're less onerous than it currently is at the moment. And we've just outlined the plan process there. So there's a bit of repeal with the bills of the RMA going through at the moment, which will get further clarification towards the end of this year, which may change how this process works going forward. But ultimately, it will be still in that kind of streamlined, fast track. We can move in it to resource consent stage. And the industrial needs assessment that council asked for in December, we had that commissioned and we received a draft report which we provided feedback on, and that will come to council in August. It may come, we may circulate that before August, and it depends how quickly they come back to us, but yeah, August there'll be a report coming to council. So they're the three main areas, and have to take any questions if you have any.
So this is the fact, oh, where there. The first village.
So we haven't got to the detail in relation to that, so we're just basically doing, this is just confirming that the regional council won't require you to hook into the reticulated system under their draft proposal for the new plan. So if you have on-site affluent system, you won't have to connect them unless it's causing, you know, it's ancient or causing problems. But as we move forward, then all the detail in relation to that will come up in terms of how it's paid for. There's different levers that council will have to consider in relation to that.
But before we interest that, you had a decent sized section and you want to subdivide it, you have to connect that to the sewage system. To do that, it's a cost.
Well, that'll be part of the plan change. So that the detail of that will go through council and workshops in terms of what the approach you want to take in terms of that plan change and how it's paid for, linking in with Nathan. But I'd imagine there'll be some cost implications on developers, I'd imagine, rather than council just putting infrastructure in. And there's different ways you can take that cost. You can have off-site, like land reserve that comes back to council, or they pay the monetary sum of contribution over time towards the pipe. So there's different mechanisms, but there's a bit more detail required in relation to that. It's not for today's discussion. This is just really just an update. So we're moving forward now.
Each development will be, you know, on its own merits, won't it? So,
Yeah. I mean, they'll be happy if there's a system going through, because then they can maximise the land and the number of houses going on there.
We want to encourage it. For sure.
And it ties in with the wastewater treatment plant as well, making sure that's got capacity. So there's a few different things, and there's likely to be some kind of staged approach, I'd imagine, with engineering. The branch will go first. Once there's a certain level of development, then you can come in to pay for the pipe and you move on to the next stage.
Yeah.
And it won't just be all built out, unless you're going to tell me otherwise, Stace, but I don't think.
No, you're on the
A staged approach, kind of
Yeah,
going from the bridge up rather than the back blocks.
yeah, we definitely need to be encouraging development.
this puts us on the front foot if we do need to develop.
Yeah, I'll just start like into comparison. I think it's sort of wrong way to this.
Well, thanks for that, Gerard. Any other questions? Just receiving this report. All those in favour? Thanks.
Before Gerard passes, just like this is Gerard's last council meeting. I was hoping there was going to be some more difficult questions for Gerard. I just want to take the opportunity to thank you for all the commitment and effort you've put in over the years with us, mate. It's been very much appreciated, and you've this is a good example of some of the great work you and your team have been doing. So just wanted to say thanks.
Thanks for that.
Thanks from all of us too.
Yeah, thanks, Gerard.
Thanks for that.
Going to be missed on the coast by some.
Yeah. Yes,
Thank you very much.
that's been good. Thank you.
Move on to page 80. That's the street grandstand options. We'll move this if I can have a step back. And then I'll hand it over to Tina.
Good. So the grandstand earthquake prone building, we have been trying for a number of years to come up with some solutions on how we can manage it within our costings. So presented us three options. So we come for your input center. Come up with our third option, which is the option 1. Hopefully it's self-explanatory, but I'm here to answer any question that you may from them.
I haven't got any questions. I've got a comment. It was a good process to go through with the involving the rugby club, and we certainly looked at all the detail of the options. So yeah, it was good to come to a decision
It was.
As a community.
Yes, I thought the process was handled very well, you know, we had great input. Those that were affected by it.
Is there a rough estimate of cost for option one?
Okay, the reason I haven't put the cost in is because I have a budget and I'm going to tender. So if I put the cost in there and tell you how much I have, my tenders are all going to come in around about that price. I have had a QS and it does come in.
And there's funding there with
Yes,
the new date that
yeah,
they
that,
have to use.
yeah, not new funding for next financial, but in this financial that goes through till June 2025. So there's no extra budget required. For option one.
May I say something? Just gonna say, it's a great asset for our community, that reserve. It's well protected in the green system, you know, for the Lantern Festival, et cetera, and anyone who wants to use that facility down there. And the upgrade of the public toilet system would be fantastic, so.
Yeah, that's definitely, I think, what
Thanks to
we
Tina
heard.
for the work you've done on that too, right?
Yeah, no,
That's all.
as you say, great community asset.
Sorry, just one question from me. With the upgrade in the fit out of the toilets, is that done in consultation with the rugby club itself?
Yes,
Yep.
yeah. With us as council and it's not the rugby club, it's the Potika Sport. As the primary user of that facility, but obviously Lantern Festival also use it. It's Barry can probably tell you that the toilets are not fit for purpose. Currently, it's a public facility, so an upgrade would definitely be interesting.
Good, thank you.
So it's sad to see historical landmark come down, but it's times when it has to, so option one is preferred option. Put the motion, option one. All those in favour? Against? Carried. Thank you very much. We're on page 86. I'll read this, whether you second it. Bring it over to you.
Thank you, Your Worship. A few highlights I'd like to touch on. First, the Anzac Dawn Parade service at Kipiriri Marae. That was, took both the girls along, got them up early with the enticement of breakfast going to be provided. And yeah, it was a really lovely service. And nice to be a part of. We didn't end up staying around for breakfast, but it was nice to be there early service. In terms of other activities, there's a lot going on in the sector at the moment, and also for us specifically with regards to the Portic Harbour project, which was touched on a little bit with the OMAC report, sorry. So a lot going on in that space. Also with the Eastern Bay Spatial Plan, and also the changes that are coming from central government in regards to local water done well. And Māori wards, so there's a lot going on in the sector at the moment. And just, I guess, a number of these activities that are highlighted in the report reflect that activity that's going on. I'm happy to take any questions.
I haven't got a statistic, but I'm just, thanks for that, Stacey. I heard a whisper at the dawn service that we have someone in our midst that actually could possibly play the dawn. The last post. And that would be pretty impressive if, you know, we were blessed with Aileen being able to play the last post, and bit of a whittle, I think, for our CEO is to perhaps be having a goal next year.
I think having this much notice is definitely more favourable than the 2 days notice I had prior to the dawn service, because I haven't picked up the trumpet for quite a number of years. But you know, being there and being a part of something special like that is quite cool. Yeah, I take on the challenge of at least getting it out of the, dusting it off and giving it a crack. See how
Used
the,
to credit, maybe from.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So.
That's like riding a bike, where you never forget it.
Yeah, the trouble is the lip, mate, the lip, end up with a sack of potatoes hanging out of my mouth if I haven't been practicing, so, but no, definitely take that challenge on board and are willing to give it a crack.
All right, yes, there has been a lot, of it? It's sort of a lot changing, but we're getting, I think, so that, any other questions? Seen it, so, yeah, I'll move the motion, all those in favour? Against? And I'll move on to resolution to exclude the public. I'll move that if I can have a second up. Sorry, mistakes.